not being stuck in one way. It's okay that it shifts. What's true to you may shift. It's not going to shift incrementally. Like you're not going to shift completely your values and whatever, but how you want to express certain things will shift. Like,
this is Lead with Integrity, where we strip leadership down to its core: self-awareness, honesty, and action. I'm Lena, and I'm bringing you real stories, deep conversations, and a nudge to lead your life with purpose. Are you ready to dive in? Today, I have a very special someone sitting next to me, Liza Leiss, the myth and the legend. And we're sitting on her favorite bench today, having a beautiful view that you sadly don't see right now, but we're going to put some pictures in the show notes. And yeah, I'd like to introduce you to Liza, who I got to know through my coaching certification, The Soulful Leaders. And the first encounter, I think, was through a podcast with Hannah that you had with a friend of hers who I was in like a coaching program with beforehand. And you were on a podcast. Yeah. And then I at first couldn't make sense of you. I have to be honest. Like I checked out your Instagram page and then I was like seeing you running through the forest somewhere in Canada, I think throughout that time. I was like, what is she actually doing here? And you had like, I don't know, I was also in a phase where I was like, okay, I need fast-paced content. And then you had like loads of stuff on your stories. I was like, I don't understand anything of this. Let me revisit that another time. And then the next time I revisited, I feel like it's going to be a long introduction, but anyways, the next time I revisited was in a time where I searched for inner connection that I lost along the way. And then I found your profile again, and suddenly it made more sense. Yeah, and then I checked it out. I was like, I'm not sure. Do I have the capacity for it? Do I have the money for it? No. Do I have like the time for it? And I was like pulling a card, actually, an oracle card, and that card showed, go for it. It's like there was an eagle on it. And I was like, okay, I have to do it. Even though I already internally knew I had to do it. And then there was an open doors call where I could like look behind the scenes. And that's where I got to know you first. Yeah, it was so human. It was so natural. And in that moment, I was just like, that feels so natural and so real. And yeah, and from there I was in the Liza's cosmos somehow. So maybe from here, I would give it to you. Mm-hmm. How would you, and I know that's like the question, right? But like, how would you introduce yourself to someone who is just meeting you the first time?
Yeah. So I would probably say that since you've already kind of mentioned it, like the Soulful Leader Certification Program, I think one of the biggest things that I would always say when I introduce myself is that I'm a leadership mentor and one that starts from within. Mm-hmm. So I connect people with their heart, tune up the voice of intuition, align people with that, and through it, help them tap into a new type of reality. Very often we do not know that it exists because we are so disconnected to ourselves. So when I introduce myself, it's probably that I'm saying, hey, I'm Liza, and I am a soulful leader, leadership mentor, or leadership mentor who's helping brands, especially personal brands, and also smaller companies, scale in integrity, kind of like how your podcast is called, but also scale aligned with their values, aligned with their heart, because that's the most powerful space we can actually manifest our life and create things that seem impossible for us when we only are working with our mind.
And you're doing that already for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, a few years now. So it's been about, I think now it's 2025. So I think it's been about like total probably 5.5, 6 years doing this business. Yeah.
Can you walk us through the journey of those years?
Yeah.
How has it been from like starting from deciding I want to do this to where you are now, if that's even possible to put into words? But yeah, if you would try to describe that, how would you explain it?
If I would walk you through, I'm going to try to like do it a timeline wise, because I think in total, I think this business is more than just a business. It's like, it's really walking with what feels true to me.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as a business. I see it as my life purpose. So it comes down to so many other nuances in this business journey and this evolution of myself, of like the way that I lead other people or have helped other people. I think that's very different in how it changed. But I think for me personally, 2018 was a very defining year. Lots of things have happened in like through. I mean, I was just finishing up my master's. Let me just revisit. Was it 2018? Yes, it was 2018. And I think that's when I was studying in the States. I did my MBA there, and I had this class, Leadership Through People Skills, and that just changed a lot for me, because the States, and like in the way that the States like is educational wise, I think they're often behind us, but at the same time in front of us. So like coaching, mentoring, all this is already very present for them, has been there for years. When you think about Tony Robbins, how big he is, but he has done it for decades. And I think when I had this class, I learned a lot about NLP. I learned a lot about how scary it can be as well, to not know, not be educated, how the mind works. And then like things personally happened, like family dynamics, like lots of things just shifted. And I was in a state, obviously, like you're finishing up uni as well. Yeah. Again, there's a big kind of like rebirth process happening that I think then I understood, wait, this is a job, theoretically. I had no idea that this was a job. And I was on the search of finding a job for me. I had a good degree, like, so all doors were open for me. I could have, like, I got job offers, theoretically. Like, I had a good, stable, like, outlook on life. But up until this point, I didn't know that coaching was existing. So that changed a lot. And then back in the days where Instagram, where you could kind of see what other people liked, I saw someone liking always the same kind of quotes that I would like, just like inspirational quotes. Like I still have screenshots of this, like in these years of like, do what your heart, like sets your heart on fire and stuff like this. And like someone would always like it. And then obviously I was exposed more to coaching and like the industry. And that was like then 2018, 2019, where it's like, okay, I want to do this full time. This is like, I'm going to finish up my master's right now. I want to do this as my business now. Like, this is what I want to do. And then though before I actually committed myself to it, I asked that person who always liked the same quotes if she could be my test client. Because if I was wanting to do something, I would go for fully all in. I'm like an all in person, very committed, very disciplined in that. So I didn't want to waste any time. And I think this for me, like, if it wasn't for it being so great coaching, I would have not wanted to do it. And I think, I mean, we're going there probably later, but in that stage, for me, it was like, okay, I really like, I want to know if I like it. If I liked it, then I would go for it. So I think for me, it was exploration first, and not just because I think that was the benefit of not having it been so, I don't know, like online and public, that coaching exists, coaching makes money, coaching I think it has formed so many opinions about this industry and so many ideas about what's possible and But I had the benefit of not knowing anything about it. And that put me in a position of exploring if I actually liked it first. And therefore I was able to follow my heart and follow my intuition very, I guess, purely without any influences on it. So I did the coaching with her. I really loved it. Then I signed up for a coaching certification program because I wanted to know more about how can I lead someone better. Like if I wanted to do it this, like that, this is my job. I wanted to be not qualified, but like in a way of like, how do I ask questions? How do I lead others? Simply because I did so much during my master's already and my bachelor as well, like intercultural mentoring, buddy programs and stuff. So I knew a lot about it already. And yet I knew that I could definitely skyrocket my skills. And I think it's important to have great skill set in order to be very good at your job and get great referrals. So already then, obviously, I had in a way of also a business mindset. Like if you want to have a great business, you have to deliver great work.
Yeah.
And that comes down to your skills. And then, obviously also beliefs, but skill set is everything. So did the coaching certification and then I went all in.
Yeah.
So,
maybe we can park it shortly there, because I think there's loads to come and we can just dive back in.
Go for it.
From what you said, I think it's so valuable to also have that curiosity, right? To guide you, to be that explorative, to not have it already boxed in, which is kind of the thing what we maybe do with like applying for a job, right? We have that setting there and it's like, hey, this is the offer I have for you and you apply for it or not. Whereas like from what you say, it was very much like, oh yeah, okay, this could be possible. And I like this. Let's see how I can make my own box out of it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's already like such a big lesson for entrepreneurship, I think, and in doing something unconventional or out of the box, however you want to call it. Yeah, I'm curious how it went from there, because you said you had like this one client starting with it and seeing first if you liked it. How did the story continue from there? In a way, where did you find, or what would you say was the most, you said skill set for sure was like very important for you also to build on that. What is one of the skills?
I think sensory acuity, like understanding how the human works in a way, like how do we work? I think for me, skill set is having emotional intelligence. Like I've studied like an MBA is Master Business Administration, but it's also a lot of leadership, global management. I saw this kind of like what it's called and what I did, but I focused on leadership and everything that we talked about, everything that I wrote about and research on during my master's, during my studies or thesis, everything was always about, if people are not able to read the room, they're not going to be great leaders. And when we're not great leaders, we're unable to actually steer a company somewhere and create impact.
Yeah.
And so this is already the topic of my master thesis, where I gave companies or scale up companies so many tips on like leadership skills that I think that was one of those like skills. It was emotional intelligence at the end of the day. Like you have to understand, you have to be able to read the room. You have to be able to not be triggered because everyone brings in their own projections and to stand above that, above projections and not taking it personally. But that also requires you to be stable enough in yourself to not let it like define you, another person's opinion or something. Or like I looked into so many different companies at that time and like seeing how like as an employee would say something and the manager got like kind of triggered and would then backfire. And there's like this very toxic relationship within the company setting. And I mean, they are moving mountains as a company, but if the internal, like it's kind of like a toxic lake. If it's like turning toxic at some point, it's not going to be able, like you can't recover company culture from it. And I think that's something that I just like find so interesting. And I mean, now we're picking up on it in a corporate world. But yeah, I find it very interesting to start building business from that point. So yeah, emotional intelligence, in leadership wise.
Yeah. It's also what you teach basically in the Soulful Leaders, right? Like inner world, tools, outer world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had just while you were talking, this question popping up, how do you teach that to others? I mean, I know through like certification to some extent.
Yeah.
Or not to some extent, you teach that. If someone is listening and feels like, oh yeah, it makes sense, what would be like the first stepping stone to actually work on it? Do you?
Like emotional intelligence?
And having that ability to read the room and to have that sensory.
Stop talking so much.
Yeah.
Most people try to like just share themselves so much because they want to be seen and they want to be heard and they want to be like work on this freaking wound that like you're good enough. Like we all know that you're good enough. Like you're the only one questioning right now.
Yeah.
And I think if you start from a place of, okay, even though maybe you have that wound, but don't feed it more and stop talking and like filling the room with empty words.
Yeah.
Because I think when you stop doing that, you actually get to be present and you get to read the room, because before you try to distract it. And it's scary at times when you're like, okay, nothing is said. Oh my God, I need to talk. So like, you need to fill it, but you don't. And I think that already helps creating and building that ability to sense the room. The more we kind of like quieten like our external voice, our need to over communicate and share ourselves, the more we kind of like stand still and like see, oh, this is actually happening right now, and I didn't even pay attention to it because I was so occupied by my own not sabotage, but sabotage, that I could that I needed to say something in order to be seen. So I think that too many people are still in the mindset of like, filling up their own wound and then wonder why certain things are not happening for them, or because they're too busy doing something else.
So start tending to your own wound.
Well, start tending to your own wound. Be quiet. I think it's like literally like learn to be and sit with yourself, sit with silence as well, and especially like in the room. Like don't like it's not that I'm like completely quiet, but I don't necessarily always share all the things. I'm an open book. Everyone can ask me all the questions. I'm answering them. But what I've noticed, like the more I think the more time goes by, the quieter I get, and the more life I experience. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Is that also how you would describe the evolution of, circling back to the question, how your business journey evolved?
The quieter I get, the
more quieter it got, and the more life you experience, kind of?
No, not necessarily. No. No, not really. I wouldn't say so. In my business journey, I mean, it's in the foundational phase where you have to get your name out there. It's like a whole different story of like communicating and like sharing your voice and sharing your values and sharing the teachings and all the things. But then you get to also obviously eat the fruits at some point and be with what you've created. And then again, I mean, we always go through cycles and then reevaluate, is this still the direction I want to go through? So I think like now that I have, let's say 6 years to business, I went through in those 5 years. So let's say after starting the business, it was a very beautiful, I think, evolution of it. Like after, and you asked about the skill set. I'm just bringing that back as well. Like especially in case you have a lot of people who are interested in building a business. I think skill set is one thing. How do you lead other people? But I think what else is very important is, what's the transformation? So for me, it was very important to understand, like, how do I actually help people? Because I can do a lot of different things, but what's the transformation? And it's not just important for me, but ultimately it's important for for the other person who says yes or no to it. And it's also important to the marketing, the sales, right? Like, how do you communicate it then? But that's the second part, I think, that was very incremental in starting my business. It's like understanding, what am I capable of at this point in time, at this stage in my life, in my evolution in my business? Because that's going to change, because the more you add to it, the better you get at certain things. You understand, oh, I don't want to talk about, let's say, how to create boundaries or whatever, right? I want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about feminine, masculine energy. I want to talk about personal branding, whatever. Like you, that's your evolution. You get to understand it more and more. But I think that's what I noticed when I created, let's say, my signature program. So it was called True Self Blueprint at the very beginning, and that gave me so much clarity, and it was undeniable that people needed that.
Mm-hmm.
It was inevitable that people would buy it
Mm-hmm.
because I was so clear in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that also helps. Most people are indecisive about their transformation that they can deliver because maybe they haven't even gone through the transformation themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the messaging sucks in a way. That's why no one buys. And I think that's the important piece. Like especially in like a service-based business, looking back now, I think I can definitely say this is so freaking important to like know, okay, this is, I don't know, that's the transformation A to B.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you gain from working with me at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Standing in that message and like getting it out there sooner than later.
Yeah.
To also understand what is it actually that works and what doesn't work.
Totally.
Yeah. I love what you also said about different phases depending when you start, like that it's so much about like getting it out there, like testing it, seeing how it works, getting to understand how can I help the best. And in the first phase, it's really about like sharing and seeing and trying and testing. And then eating the fruits you said as well. I wonder, to that sentence, life gets more quiet, or like not more quiet. How did you say it? You said it more
the
like
more quiet I get, the more life I experience, or like something like that.
Is that also in a way of translatable to what we just shared about also how your business evolution was from sharing it and being more in the speaking, and maybe now being more in like the listening? And not that you never listened before, but
no. I wouldn't say like that's again, I wouldn't say so, because I think it's in business you always have to share. Like yes, you listen, but I think I did to the same degree. I listened to the people in order to build the program.
Yeah.
And then I built the program, and then I revisited the program and bettered it because I listened. So I think I think it's just a personal thing. It has nothing really to do with business. But yes, there are more phases where you maybe stop. Like I stopped kind of posting every day at some point just to revisit what is the purpose of me posting every day.
Yeah.
Of course, it's helpful. Of course, it's needed for so many people. But if I'm not sharing from my whole heart, it's half-hearted impact. And even though that's a bit of impact, I needed to clarify that for myself. Like, where's my vision leading me towards, and which steps do I want to go? Because many people want me to go a certain way. Like, can you just do this? Can you do that? Oh, I loved your speak on this. Can you share more of this? Like, I experienced this so many times. I've like even now, like I've been so invited to so many workshops, like hosting workshops in Dubai, like, and then they ask me, "Can you talk about this manifestation?" That, and it's interesting. I can, but I don't want to. Like that's not
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk about this in this way because I've talked about it 10 million times and it bores me. So for me, it needs to be engaging. Like I need to fully be in it. And so I think that's also, part of the quote unquote success story of my business, that I have never compromised my own joy in my business. I needed to feel alive in my business and in the programs that I launched in order, and with the people that I worked with, in order to deliver A+, let's say, results.
I think it resonates a lot when you say that with also how I saw the evolution of the Soulful Leaders.
It's a whole other story.
From the moment I started to see how it changed and grew and changed again. And it feels like you're really living that as well with everything that you do and produce and show in the world, to just do what feels also alive for you and engaging for you. I think that's such a role model for me, definitely, and also for, I think, a lot in entrepreneurship, where I feel sometimes there's this, again, the box that has to be this way, and then there's Lisa. She's just like, yeah, but I want to have fun and I just want to do it this way. And I think it allows a lot of other people to do the same, and to just change it. I think for a long time you also had like in your Instagram bio saying something like, yeah, I had a successful business, or like I had this business and then I changed it. And like, I think it's such a way of how you also coach and how you teach, is like, you're so potent also with your language and with your words that you speak, that sometimes a chain takes a moment before you actually understand what you said.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, it's like, I remember very vividly, like when we were in Arizona together, had like the co-creation retreat from the Soulful Leaders in the States. And I was in that moment searching for so much for belonging. And I think only like weeks later, I realized, oh, now it makes sense. I think you were saying belonging is longing to be. Something like that.
Yeah.
And
sounds like it.
Yeah. And for me, I was already in Canada at that time. And I was walking down the street, and I think I read the book from Brené Brown before as well, Daring Greatly. And I was like, oh, now I get it. And I sent you a message of like, oh my God, Lisa, it rippled in finally. And that's, I think it happens. For me, it happened so many times, with also when we were in our one-on-one coaching together after, where only months later, when I finally maybe also had the space to integrate everything that you activated also so naturally without me even noticing. Like using language really as like a
tool.
It's
like your voice is like the instrument, and if you understand how to speak, when to have a pause, when like which words to use, and I think that's the point. Like I don't know how I do it now, because it's just naturally like I just do it. I don't know when that changed. I have no idea, but I think always when I have to reflect, like when someone asks me and I have to reflect on myself, I get it. Because it's I understand the mind, so it makes sense why I would say certain things like this. And I mean, for me, it's always this, like, often I get messages like, years later, now I got it. Like, it makes so much sense. Now I'm living what you predicted 2 years ago. And I'm like, I know, but I can't say that. Right?
It's crazy. As if you have like some kind of superpower connection to like the bigger picture, to like the ecosystem. I don't know, like to everything that is already interconnected. Yeah.
Well, I guess we all have that. Theoretically. It just takes the connection part that I described at the beginning. It takes that to fully sink in.
Yeah.
And it's easier always for someone else. You know, like it's always the same.
Easier for someone else.
Yeah. Like for me to look at your life and like be able to like, it's the art is then to create it for yourself and being in this role to yourself and with yourself. How
do you do that?
I mean, practicing the self-connection piece, quietness, stillness. Stillness is like where I think the insights are the loudest. So I think that's also the correlation here. Here is the correlation essentially with the stillness part. I think the more I practice stillness, the more I got to experience life in a different realm. And then these fancy words of like quantum leaps and like different timeline, accessing different timelines at like the same time, that then opened up. Yeah.
Do you want to dive deeper into timelines? Because I feel like there are some buzzwords here and there sometimes. If you talk about timelines, first of all, maybe what is a timeline? And then also, how do you jump on timelines? And how do you do that as in your daily practice? Or how does that look like for you in your life?
Well, I think it's what I believe in is different to what I would teach to people first, because depending on where their consciousness is at, they need a bit of like a middle ground in order to fully allow themselves to fully feel it. And that's just because of the mind. Like it always wants to repeat the same things, right? So I think for the mind, it needs sometimes the security of like, okay, so the middle ground is here. So I'm not going completely insane or being unsafe. So I think the way that I would teach it is different than what I experience. So what I would teach is usually time. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't believe in time, but in this scenario, we believe in time. And we say there is a past and there's a future and then there's the now. And we could probably all agree that we have certain things that we repetitively experience and live. And when that happens, it's kind of like we are in one of those timelines. Like what I said earlier, I was in one of those timelines where I was, what is this called? Whatever. At uni, like the best degree, like all these things. And I could have literally all doors open. And it was this one timeline where I lived in Oslo in this beautiful apartment, had the offers of my dreams. But that was one of the timelines. That was one potential of my life, the way that it could turn. And then I stepped out of it. And I opened a new timeline, theoretically. And that would lead me to something else. Now in my life, I could turn and say, well, actually, I'm going to be an author timeline. Like then out of a sudden, I publish books and they have sold to millions and gazillion people theoretically, right? Yeah. This could be a timeline. It could also be a timeline. No, Lisa is moving to New York City and becomes an actress. I have no idea. Yeah. Like that's a different timeline. So I think you could say timeline could be a timeline in a way of like, what's your expression like? Yeah. How do you express yourself and your purpose? And then it's also timeline-wise, we can say, okay, in that future scenario, I am living this and this life. So that's kind of like the visionary work. And then we can say like, I'm jumping timelines because now I am there already. Yeah. And I think it's the same. It's like both. You decide on the expression that you want, like the way that you want to live. And then you future pace it. With, for example, in TSL, you learn the timeline technique in NLP. This is like future pacing it, going there, learning, practicing the connection to that future scenario in the now. Yeah, and I think that's probably the most in like the easiest way to practice it. To learn that. To pull the future into the now. Yeah, pull the attitudes, beliefs into the now. And starting from that inner system, identity work, starting from that inner system and putting it in or placing it in the now and moving from that point. So now believing that I am a person who has created hotel chain, how would she move? What would she decide? Would she decide on that first land or would she bring in someone for due diligence? Would that person, what would this person actually do? Yeah. And I think that's definitely that has changed the way that I move through life because you stop doing these quick decisions. You stop doing quick fixes. And in general, you you're more connected to the heart voice, I would say. The heart voice is very wise and simple and pretty much very stable in its sound. Yeah. And so I think that's also like timeline and jumping could also be like, but I like being in the mind. I want to have the Lamborghini. I want to have this life and da-da-da-da. And now I'm pulling it into the now. You can do that. But again, like your power is going to be 95% less strong than with the heart coherence and energetic field. So that's why for me it's always starting first with the heart connection and then you go into the timelines and because the heart connection will reveal what you're here for. And as you understand what you're here for because you can feel it in your body, that's when you can place that future scenario and pull it closer to you. When I say pull it closer to you, I'm just kind of versing what are their beliefs. What are their motives? Yeah. What are their values? And then living according to that. And by doing so, you walk in that direction anyways. It's just a question of when and not if.
Yeah, it's infused in everything that I learned from you and with you. Yeah, resonates a lot with also what you say about the frequency from the heart versus the frequency maybe from the mind as well. And how you have more access to that frequency as well from like being more in the listening and in the quiet spaces as well. you mentioned while you were now talking as well that you were mentioning a hotel chain, and you also said that you're currently living in Dubai.
Yeah.
What's the vision that you have with the hotel chain, if you feel like sharing? And what's maybe connected to also that previous question, how do you, because you said there's a difference from how you teach timeline and how you practice it for yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a connection to like that vision of the hotel chain, how you practice it in your daily life.
So the way that I would practice the timeline thing for myself is just living in the now. The now is the only time we have. If there's a concept of time, then now. Because the now is just like, this is it. Like only in the now you can be present. Only in the now you can create. So from that moment, obviously, like it's easier for us to say there is a future and the future looks like this. But if I keep continuing saying this is in the future, it's going to stay in the future because our mind is that powerful. So speaking to the future as if it is now is one part. So the concept of our language, using the now, the present tense, to describe my future, let's say. I practice it all the time, like right now as well. I said, I am a hotel chain owner, right? Like it's already ingrained in the way that I speak. And I don't know if it's going to be my future, essentially. But there's a big vision for me. I grew up in like, my uncle had this beautiful restaurant. I worked there my entire childhood. I went to work in like cafes. I always loved hospitality. During my what is it? Like I thought originally I would like work as I was 19 or something. I thought I would work at the embassy because they got to travel every 3 years, I think. So that was like for me a job where it's like, okay, that I can see for myself because I wanted to travel. It was very clear to me. I wanted to explore cultures. I want to have impact on those cultures. I've been to the embassy in India, and I was able to see like how Germany was kind of like placing money to certain projects in India, like children projects and stuff. So I was able to go there with like, I was like 18 or 19, and I actually had to speak at one of those stages in front of those kids. It was like one of the scariest moments of my life, I think. Because I didn't speak English, and anyways, whole trauma thing there. But still, like I think that helped me like to again also create a little bit of an idea of how my future I want, like the way that I wanted to have my future. So redirect me right now. What was the point?
Coming back to how you work with timeline for yourself.
So the now, like always in the now. And I think that's the point. I don't know why I went to India right now. To this, there was a point of it.
Maybe it will come back in a second. But we were trying to connect that.
The hospitality aspect. Sorry.
Okay.
No, like traveling was always a big part of me. And then also a big part hospitality. And in my bachelor, I actually studied healthcare management and tourism management. And then after 5 semesters, I could go deeper into one of the sections. And I went into HR and leadership because through management, tourism management and healthcare management was a lot of management as well. So it was like 3 study fields in one. But initially I loved tourism as well. I loved the concept of like why, like what's tourism, you know, and traveling. And so I think I've always been enjoying this part of like like hotels and all the things, and being a good host and understanding what makes a good host, and making places a home. I think that's also something that I'm very good at. And then I felt somehow already back then when my uncle died quite early, and they had to sell my aunt, she sold the restaurant, and it was also a guest house, like a little B&B. And I always said, one day I'm going to buy it back. Like that was me maybe with 21 or something. Like one day I'm going to buy it back. And maybe that's going to be the reality. If I have a house in Germany, then that's what I want. But yeah, so essentially this was definitely something. But yeah, that's why I think a few years back now, I had this impulse, and it came stronger and stronger and stronger. And I wasn't leaning into it because I couldn't picture myself doing it, because I was like, at this point I already had built I was on the edge of creating the 7-figure business. And I was like, cool, but that's online, and it's different to physical business, and then hospitality, la la la, and it's like a lot of work, la la la. So I would speak not poorly of myself, but I wasn't seeing myself in that bigness. And I think then, like, one day I would be like, no, fuck it. Like, if you want it, then let's create it. And then I dreamt of it, and then there's a whole kind of like story around how it came through, then like very vividly and clearly. But yeah, so an idea is a hotel chain, and a lot of people, like I've met many entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs now. Actually, in April, I was at this retreat for 7 days in Italy, and it's like 200 people there. And I shared with some my idea, and everyone's like, yeah, Lisa, I don't want to talk you down. I'm always like in for like the big ideas, but that's a big commitment.
Yeah.
And like, like if you really want to do this, I could start with one. And I'm like, obviously I start with one, like, obviously, but it did make me rethink a little bit certain things.
Yeah.
And I think for me, to create, and I have already invested in a company now, or in a hotel, or in a potential hotel that I would want to buy, just to get someone in and like see the buildings and everything, the structures and what needs to change. So I've already done a lot of this work.
Yeah.
And yet, it's like a long-term project, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm planning in decades. I'm not like, this is how it's going to lay out and like da-da-da. It's like, yes. And like, there's a lot to think about. It has a lot to do with my coaching. So I told someone the entire mission, how it came to me. And then this person looked at me and was like, well, so actually you're building... So your online coaching business, basically a hotel then? And it's kind of like, in the way that I traveled, I have a lot of, like, I work a lot with the earth and ley lines, and the grid work for people who don't know what that is, it's like energy points in the earth. We have different energy points in the body, the meridian systems from Chinese medicine. And that's essentially, it's not the same, but kind of like, you can kind of like see it as a metaphor. It's like we have energy points in the earth, and you can feel it when you are in one, how your energy shifts. And there are different energy lines. And that is something I explored naturally as I was traveling. It's like, oh, I'm always kind of pulled into the same kind of frequency of the earth. And it always has this and you have been there in Arizona in this one womb space where we're at the end.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I always call it a womb space because it has something grounding, something very warm, safe, and yet activating.
Yeah.
And so I've been always called to the same kind of frequency. So wherever I go, it has these components and values and energies. And that's where it felt like, oh, I think this is the most transformative space you can actually create for someone.
Yeah.
Someone who feels safe enough to explore.
Yeah.
And activated enough to take action on it.
Wow.
And so that's thinking physical spaces that is a hotel, but actually also a membership.
Yeah.
Where people can buy a membership, a yearly membership or something, rooms that can go on retreats there, they can host their own retreats there, wedding ceremonies, all these different components. I also have a wedding event planner certification. I do all these different weird things, but like
she does it all.
But like this is like something that I feel also very passionate about. Ceremonies and like spiritual ceremonies, and I think wedding, like a love bond, is like something very, very beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to create something like this, and then in different energy points, and the last bit, I think I'm not going to reveal completely, but like different countries have different meanings as well.
Yeah.
And I wrote, like, in the last 1.5 years, I've been just writing down these different meanings and like what I want, what's important to be in that space, how, like, what's the general concept of it.
Wow, I'm already excited.
Yeah.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah, and I've been meeting many, many cool, interesting people. I've been exposed to so many investors as well, and like even just like opening up. And we talked about it outside the box. Like when you step outside the box, or when you start just speaking about it, not being afraid that, oh my gosh, someone's going to steal the information. So yeah, so that's awesome, because then we're on the same path. And when I'm in my pure heart and I want to change the world to something better, and someone does the same thing, great. You know, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
So I think it's also something about that, to like truly be detached from the idea. Like, I love the idea, but if someone else builds it now, great. Then we have it earlier.
Yeah.
You have to go with what you have available and be resourceful with what you have, I think.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful touch point as well, like into understanding we're all part of this together.
Yeah.
And like that it's, if one person is doing it, probably they do it in a different way and still like work to the same mission together.
Yeah. Fully.
Yeah, to not like be in this
scarcity mindset.
Yeah, and like we work against each other and I have to be better than you or something like that, right? Us all standing in our own purpose and like trusting to what the heart is giving us and like guiding us to, by being able to receive and listen into it, supports the whole concept, right? Yeah. And supports the whole system around us. Yeah.
Unity.
So,
wholeness.
Yeah.
That's I think the heart voice always, it starts with your wholeness. And then out of sudden, because you are whole, you are one, you want other people to benefit as well from it.
Yeah.
And you want to create bigger than you are.
Yeah. I'm so excited for these energy points location.
Black and white.
Yeah.
But also it's funny because we talk about timelines, but I'm writing, like I found a journal entry like the other day before I was flying back from Dubai. I was like, there's a journal entry where I say something in whatever month, next year or something. I'm walking on this land, la la la. And I'm like, when did I write this? Like sometimes we shall see, inshallah, but well, you know, you don't know.
Yeah. It's like, be careful with your words or be intentional with your words.
Yeah.
What maybe related to that, because you've traveled so many countries, right? And I don't want to ask you now, like, what was your favorite country? But I'm curious now that you also mentioned that you were naturally drawn to those energy points. And I'm sure all of them had like an impact on you itself, like everyone individually. But if there are certain locations that you were at that had like a bigger impact on you, is that like, could you pinpoint, well, I remember when I was in Phoenix, that's like one of the locations that really impacted me, or like had I like shifted something within me? Yeah. What, if you maybe pick three, which ones would, like, which locations are they and what shifted?
Well, I think starting with this, it's like when you have an intention, and I think that's maybe also, you said like your podcast is called Lead with Integrity, right? And it's like lead with consequence is also one similar thing. And live with intention. When you live with intention, you send out boomerangs and they come back when they're meant to come back. And if you have a, let's say, an intention for a country or like a travel trip, it's going to come, like it's going to show you how to actually live with that intention. So let me pick some. I love many countries. For example, England. I mean, England is like one of my favorite places in the world. And I have many different stories, but like that one time, because I've been there so many times, but I'm trying to like pinpoint like one time. It was like, I said to myself, I want to connect more with like my womanhood, and I want to connect with like I've done a lot of ancestry work, especially on my mom's side. And I think that's when I said, connecting more with the womanhood. literally one day later, I was invited to this women festival, and on the way there, I booked myself like this. What is it called again? Like a yoni steam and like all these different things. And all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? Like, like it came just like one after the other.
Yeah.
That out of a sudden I was just like, so like everything just happened. And that was pretty cool. Yeah. Everything was kind of like laid out for me. Like I said something and out of a sudden happened. And then I had booked this beautiful farm house, and it just it felt so holy in there. So I was held so perfectly in that space. And I think that was also something for me to kind of like feel and experience. That I was like, okay, like I can open up myself and I'm safe in that exploration of who I am, especially when women open up to womanhood. I think that's something that's very sacred. Yeah. There's a lot of shame around this. There's a lot of vulnerability that most of my clients, including, haven't actually like tapped into. Once we do, it's like a whole different story than the mother line. Like there's so much actually. Anyway, so that was one. So the UK was there. That was one time.
Where in the UK?
I've traveled a lot. That was in Somerset and Wiltshire.
Okay.
Yeah. And then other time in the UK, it's like that's where I was like tapping into a lot of luxury and abundance. That was also Somerset, Wiltshire, and probably Cornwall and Devon. So and I travel a lot also in those countries, or Wales. Like I think I just am drawn to different stories and like oh, I've heard there's a beautiful tree, or like I felt like we should find a labyrinth, and all of a sudden there's one, like there's just following the breadcrumbs at first, but at the same time it's like just follow your heart. It's going to be like and again, like many like, well, it's so difficult, but yeah, of course it's like a practice. You have to practice it, and then out of sudden life unfolds and you just put in awe all the time. It's like there's always a surprise for you. So that was that.
Yeah.
And then I think for me, every country has their own magic. So that's why I like also want to have a hotel chain and not just one, because every country can initiate you in a different state, and different topic can arise. Yeah. So especially you mentioned Phoenix. Yeah. So the desert has a very specific energy that activates different topics for people. Even if I would be like, okay, no, we're going to England now and we're working on this. And if I do the same retreat at this space, with the same people at the same time, theoretically, it would be completely different, because the energy will change something in it.
Yeah. Do you feel the energy in those countries stays the same?
They can turn, but I think mostly energies stay quite stable. Yeah. In like a physical space, I would say, unless someone does come like a lot of like work in order to change it. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of work to like, that's why people hire people to come to their houses and like the energy or like shift it. So there is stuff there, but I'm naturally drawn to the places that are already in a space of like, there is so much potent energy there. Yeah. And you can just like tap in, like multiply your own, like it's refueling you. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you think there's certain, what you say, it sounds like that every spot has like a certain energy that activates a certain or supports you also in working on a certain topic.
Yeah, 100%.
Could you, and you said from the UK, it was like womanhood, and also the other spot was abundance and luxury. Yeah. How would you describe the energy in Phoenix? I'm just curious now.
Phoenix. I think it's I think it's more like connection wise, like more the airy energy. I feel like it's not as grounding. So I think Phoenix has a lot more of like, you can connect more with your spiritual guides, let's say.
Yeah.
But again, also with England, like if I had the intention to go there to explore more the abundance, let's say, energy, you can tap into that as well, but it takes maybe a bit more effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, also like, yeah, it was interesting if maybe that helps you to also like make the difference. I had this retreat with someone else. I posted it last year in England. And so we went to this one part of England, and it's very like known for its energetic hotspot. And the energy there is very like activating, very, I think it has a heavy energy as well, and a very like steering energy. So it's not a clear energy; it's a very steering energy. So then I brought them to the farmland. I was like, guys, we do a little day trip because I want you to experience this. This has been one of the most incremental points and like spots in my journey so far, and I tend to come back every year ever since, because it's so clear to me. Like once I'm there, I'm like, life is different. You tap into different hemisphere in a way. And I brought the people, and out of a sudden, one by one, started saying, "Wait, I feel so different." I didn't say anything beforehand because I don't want to jeopardize it. It's like, "Hey, how are you feeling now?" Like, like I just asking, and out of a sudden, like, something feels so much lighter. Something feels so much more in sync. And like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And to understand that. And then I obviously went deeper into like, for me, I'm more the explorative person. Then I'm just having to read all the things. There are lots of books about energy points in the world I've not read. So I always like to explore it. And then someone tells me about it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because I felt like this in this point. And
fits to how you also started your business.
Yeah. So everything is always more, I need to experience things in order to kind of like make it feel true to me. I can't read something and be like, oh yeah, okay, now believe in that. No, because if I haven't experienced in my bones, that it's very important to me. And then it made sense, because that one town is, when you look at it from that let's say, I don't know what to say, like the books. That one town is the heart of the world, and the other one where I was is the womb.
Oh.
And then I was like, that's interesting. Stonehenge, for example, is the mind. So there's a triangle. There's usually always a triangle. In every city is a triangle, in every place. Anyways, that's a whole different other, we could talk for hours about different things. But like in that way, it's like interesting to like see. That's why many people are drawn to Bali, But I think Bali has also a lot of potent energy. And yet, I think also with everyone who's listening, because you travel a lot, I travel a lot, you have to bring it home. Whatever home means to you. If that's like, now we're sitting here in Germany, and now we're literally at my home kind of town area. But if you not integrating it in your bone, and you get like, you're always just like, only when I'm there, then in that energy, then I can create for my business. Then I can record stories. Then I That's then a false mechanism of like, you pretend like it's not integrated, it's not embodied wisdom. Because then you're tapping into different energy. Yeah, of course you're gonna feel different. And like, in Italy we eat gelato and whatever, and we live the dolce vita, whatever, right? It's a whole different other like lifestyle out of a sudden. But if this is not part of who you actually are, then that's difficult.
I think that's a very valid point that we also talked about shortly beforehand, about like, basically everything that you also said with like, what is true to me. And your first program, the True Self Blueprint. It always comes back to that, right? What is true to you who are listening, or who is listening, and following those impulses, integrating them to fully embody them, so that they feel very natural also to you.
Yeah. And also not being afraid when something shifts.
Yeah.
Because I think I have videos of myself when like I changed to self-blueprint. Like I have so many videos of me crying. Because I'm like, I love it so much, but actually it doesn't feel right to me anymore. Like I have so many videos of me shifting, and it has always taken me a lot of energy to like be okay with that shift. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, okay, next.
Yeah.
You know, like TSL is a good example for it. It's like this program has cost me so much energy and effort. I put so much love, education in it, and yet one of the biggest things, and I think that's why I'm still like in this process with this program. For me, this program is like a human in a way. Like it has its own moods. Like I'm just like a guardian. I don't know. Like this is a whole different story about it. Like all our other programs, I don't know. It's like easy, but with this one, it's like it's like a teenage child finding its way through life. But it's interesting because I just try to give it space.
Yeah.
And ask all the time. It's like, how do you want to evolve? Do you want, I can stop you right away now, today. No worries. I'm not attached to it.
Yeah.
But it's there, and it's still there. And there's a reason for it. I'm not sure what it is. Like I had this intention of like, building the certification, 10,000 people in there, like having so many students, like even like, for example, you now being finished with it, being able to certify other people, like have your own cohort who buy the certification, learn with you, you know, it's like everyone could actually create their own little masterminds and like, you know, like this was like the whole idea about it as well. Like everyone can just do their own thing with it, because the main message is always kind of the same. Start within, learn the tools, apply them outside of like your inner world. But so like this was always like this.
That's crazy.
Interesting story. And I think not being stuck in one way, it's okay that it shifts. So what's true to you may shift. It's not going to shift incrementally. Like you're not going to shift completely your values and whatever, but how you want to express certain things will shift. What you share now is going to shift. Like maybe you start, like for me, it's always interesting when you say the universe, God, source, intelligent force, spirits, whatever. Like everyone, like I started with saying like maybe more the universe, you know? And then no, actually that doesn't resonate with me anymore, but it resonates with a lot of people. So then what resonates with me? Oh, actually now I speak about God more, maybe not completely always, but like online, but like I speak to God. I don't speak to the universe. Or, you know, what's true for you. That is allowed to evolve, like the way that you express yourself. Not to hold on too long.
I think that's a sentence also, this, it's okay. I definitely also took from the work that we had together, from like our one-on-one, definitely. This like, it's okay to just always come back to accepting where you're at right now, right? Basically also circles back to being in the presence, right? I slowly want to come to like a closure, and I had like so many more questions that I felt like we could dive into, but maybe that's for another day, another time. To round it up, maybe we can give the listeners a few action steps to dive into when they are maybe at a position where they just think of maybe starting their own thing, think of getting out of the box, think of maybe tapping into energy points or whatever you took from this conversation now as well. How do you think, or would you say, this is how I would start?
I think how I would start is understanding what's actually giving you energy. What gives you energy, what generates energy generates money. That's the core belief I have. Whatever generates energy inside of you is going to generate money outside of you. Because obviously money is energy. So that's the correlation. But it must generate energy within you. So if it's not fun for you, if it's not giving you anything, why do it? Like you have one life, so get over. all of the things that hold you back. Meaning, and I think that's like, it's so easy to say, but clarifying this will probably be the most pivotal thing you can do in your life and in your business, in your evolution, because it will open the doors for, oh, fuck, I need to, sorry, I don't know if I can share.
It's okay.
I need to actually look at my triggers here. Oh, I actually need to look at my wounds here. Oh, there are things, because I'm not a big fan of like having to like doing the inner work all the time, because that's not necessary. You don't have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Life, as you walk, presents you with the topics you need to dive into in the moment.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up in the wrongdoings.
Yeah.
Like most people often, that's also something that I would say. Once you get clear in that, and once you walk the path, things come up. That's what you work on. That's it.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Keep walking. Anything else? Oh, I've seen like anything else. Oh, this is like some energy workers I've heard over the years where I'm like, oh my word, and you decided to work with this person. I would have run like miles away. But like, oh, I see your grandfather behind the couch or like the bench here, and he's sabotaging you. Some people buy into this and like, oh no, I need to like work on this dynamic. No, only you know exactly what you need to work on, even though it's not clear to you.
Yeah.
Only you can reveal it though. So the person who's going to ask you the right question will open up these revelations for you. So I think that's also something.
Yeah.
So these quick fixes, forget about them. They're not existing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like you can't, it doesn't make sense. Anything quick doesn't make sense. Because the irony is, when you decide to go for the long-term game, aka your heart voice, it's going to be much faster.
Yeah.
So it's like quick fixes don't exist, but actually the quick fix is following your heart, because then it's going to be so, like everything is going to be laid out so much faster. So connect with yourself, understand where you're at the moment in your life. Know that you can change anything all the time now.
Yeah.
Never like later, but now.
Yeah.
And then I said, build the skill set. Understand the transformation. If you don't understand the transformation, then you can't do good marketing, then no one buys, and then you get into a spiral of an old timeline of yours, and you get back into this whole loop. And then, you start from like the one moment where you have to work all the time on your self-confidence and your self-worthiness issues, Yeah. This like, again, so we don't want to get that trapped into this again.
Yeah.
So this is like be clear in the transformation and your skills.
Yeah.
Know what you can do. And it's okay to know that you can't do all of the things.
Yeah.
I love outsourcing things.
Yeah.
I love also saying, hey, you want to work on this and this and this with me, and you're there and there and there. I've worked on this 5 years ago, so you might as well be working with this person today, because I'm not working with that anymore.
Yeah.
So I like to also, I know my network, so I know where to put people.
Yeah.
Don't take on too many people that don't feel right to you.
Yeah.
Also, many people do it out of fear. That's why Inner World was, like in TSL, it was all about actually shifting from scarcity to abundance mindset.
Yeah.
To actually, not abundance mindset doesn't mean like cash, but it means I can breathe and I can choose. I have choice points.
Yeah.
Scarcity is I have only one option, limited. Abundance is I have choice points.
Yeah.
And with choice points, I can actually move more easily.
Yeah.
And I can move with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is also something that I would say.
Yeah. I would say it was 4 steps, right? From the ones that you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. First one's
more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I would say we keep it at that.
Yeah. Maybe one last bit of advice.
Yeah.
It's like, don't be afraid to be a beginner.
Yeah.
It's one of the best mindsets to have, not just mindsets, but also stages in your life. Because like, I feel like I'm a beginner. And I have created a lot of things, but I feel like I'm a beginner. I haven't even, like, I'm starting now. Now, like, I understand everything that I need to do in order to But I think I'm a beginner because I'm open to advice. I'm open advice from people that I think they're good in their game. Again, that comes back to skill set. That's why a lot of the people want to be already there, but they don't have the skills. So I would never book them.
Yeah.
Like, hard truth very often that I actually also say to clients, well, one of the reasons why people are not booking is you're not on top of your game. You need to be on top of your game, that people actually, like, if you want to be a speaker, if you want to be world-renowned, whatever, you have to bring it, like, to the table.
Yeah.
And yeah, so definitely be that.
Yeah.
Not just dream about it, be it.
Mm-hmm. And to be it
takes some time and practice.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because that's life, what life is for.
Yeah. So would you say follow the things that are just true to you right now, and like basically what you said, like see what brings energy to you,
and expand on that.
Yeah.
And that might be out of the box. That's the whole point. Like, because it's your own essence.
Yeah.
So that is different to anyone else out there.
Yeah.
And it might be similar, but it's still different, as you said before.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think the reason why I brought it in, because we started with the timelines, right?
Yeah.
We started, hey, that's where I explored. I followed my path, like my heart, and like, I wanted it. I was obviously I was scared, in a way of more the reaction of others rather than if it works.
Yeah.
And working on these things as they come up.
Yeah.
Then I worked on my skill set. I had this client. Then out of that, I launched my business. Then people came, because I had this clear idea about what it's going to happen, and they believed me because I was so clear in it. So that's why I like work on that, like on the skill set, on the transformation, and like what you deliver, because then it's going to help you to actually share that message.
Yeah.
Then moving on, like as it came, my business pivoted. The years came by, I launched different offers, because out of sudden that was like I embodied that. So therefore I launched something about this.
Yeah.
Then with TSL, where we had the side excursion earlier, it's like, most like people ask me all the time, like, how do you teach? Why do they have so good results? And then I was like, okay, so many people have asked me, I'm building something now for that. It took me over a year, essentially, almost to build this whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, that is one thing. And I shared this as well with the competition part. It's not about competition. It's about, like, there's so many out there, but like, if people start believing in themselves, we all won in the lottery.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that, like creating that abundance mindset of like choice points, of contentment, of like presence.
Yeah.
That's also when, and my intention with everything that I share, especially also with, this big ass program in the inner world, it's like, that's the whole point of it, of like people being anchored in before they're learning NLP, and which are great tools, but if you're starting that with the wrong mindset, it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's also important.
Yeah.
So again, like let life show you what's meant to be in your life and what's meant to stay in your life.
Yeah.
And then don't be afraid of like not changing certain things, pivoting here, letting go of this. Move with these emotions, that invite them in, sit with them on the bench, and talk to them about it, you know, because they're part of you. And I think that's the next thing as we like moved through the timeline as well, and the 4 steps. Like, allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of inner work that needs to happen. So either get some help, book TSL.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like so many programs out there that can help you. If that's programs, I would not say ask ChatGPT, because that's a computer science that we haven't even dove into this. Many people I've heard use it now for therapy. It's like, that can be very dangerous. So I would not use anything that cannot be done by a computer versus a human being and experiences.
Yeah. Damn it, Lisa. I know you dive into a topic where I feel like I would love to dive even deeper. But
I wanted to kind of like close it with timelines, because I
like it. Yeah.
Like as I moved on, I changed. I ate some fruits and I launched something different because it was very present in my life.
Yeah.
And like now I'm in a space where I'm very like, I'm just exploring what else life has in store for me. So for example, with the hotel chain, we dove into this one, because that's now the business after like 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, I have the capacity to be very in my abundant mindset. And it doesn't mean I have all the financial, that's why I talked with investors and stuff, and that I have them present right now here to invest in these hotels. No, that requires trust and belief and skill set again, you know? If not, it would probably be here already, but it's not. So therefore, it requires certain things. So wherever you think you are, probably we all are.
Yeah.
And so therefore, these are ingredients that you need to start building. Trust, self-trust, trust in life, resilience as well.
Yeah.
And what else did I say just now?
Is sensory acuity, emotional intelligence, all these skills that are basically part of this conversation as well.
To sum it up, I guess that's the whole point of it.
I love that. Where can people plug more into your energy? I think we already said TSL for sure is one of them. You are currently in Dubai, building your offline network there as well. Sooner or later, maybe the hotels in like those energy points. Where like maybe you share what's currently alive and where can people plug into your energy?
Yeah, it's probably the easiest to just follow me on Instagram and plug into the stories. I think one of the main tools I'm using are stories at this point, where I just share so much. And if you understand them, if you like read them, if you pause and just like actually read them, I think there's so much value in it. That you don't need a whole program most of the times in order to get a quick like mindset shift. And I think that's like the stories. You can buy my journal. I have a journal now. It's called Untriggered. Therefore, the beautiful cat. So that's a whole different new adventure that I'm just following breadcrumbs that literally happen all the time right now. It's like people text me they want to be employed by Untriggered. I literally I just printed that for myself. Out of that, people want to have clothing. Then they want to work for me and for this company. Then people ask me to like, have you trademarked it? So it's funny again, like how life just delivers. But I think the core always needs to be staying in your game and staying in your self.
Follow Liza online. We're going to put everything in the show notes as well. Her Instagram, her websites, the certification, the Untriggered Club, book, journals, and everything that's currently out there.
And I don't know if when you're listening to this and you're interested in TSL, maybe I'm just putting it out there now, and I don't know if it's okay, but maybe they can have like a 10-minute call with you to ask about questions and stuff.
Absolutely. Always open for a call, for connecting with you and sharing more about this program that honestly shifted so much for me in my life, so that I can actually be and sit here today with you, having this interview. No, that was just an idea. Maybe some people have still questions when they read through the website and stuff. I actually put you on the website now as your testimony. In the raw version.
Not we always like that's also one of those things like being a permission slip. I have posted a lot of quotes in a sauna in like the weirdest outfits. And people always like, since you did that, I feel so much better when I just show up like this. And for me, it's not perfect. I'm like, well, I'm far from perfect. So also like the uncut version of the testimonial that Lena sent us, I think it was perfect to just like put it in there. And I hope that many more people enjoy this program as well. So if they could text you and you hop on a call.
Definitely. Always. Please do. Thank you so much for taking the time today, for being here on your favorite bench, for showing me your favorite bench. And having this beautiful view. Now I know.
You actually should turn around the camera now soon.
Okay, we're going to show it to you just now.
It's so pretty. So pretty.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Liza.
Thank you.
Final cut here and stop. That's it for today's episode of Lead with Integrity. Thank you so much for being here. Before you go though, let me ask you if any of the conversations have ever given you an insight, inspiration, or impulse that was worth keeping, because it would mean the world to me and help the evolution of this podcast to receive a review either on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because this way other souls, other people can get aware of the ecosystem we are building here in this corner of the internet and help us share and expand our branches. If you happen to leave a review, send me a screenshot on either Instagram or via email, and I'll gift you a 50 € voucher as a thank you. Remember, the work isn't to lead louder, it's about leading in honesty and alignment to your true self. And now go out there and connect with your purpose. I'm Lena, and I can't wait to bring you another real conversation next week Sunday. Stay tuned. I love you and believe 1000% in you.